Good. Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Berger, and I'll say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are tuning in and watching us from. Welcome to Holistic Mental Fitness Series, where myself and Mupo Entertainment believes mental fitness is the new physical health. So before I bring on my very special guest today, Angela Sanzali, to the stage, if I may, as a certified holistic wellness coach, I'm humbled to be affiliated with an amazing group of humanitarian entrepreneurs who are actually aligned with the only holistic mental wellness company that is focusing on the microbiome. And people say, what is that? And that's a great question. You know what? It's your it's your gut, brain, heart access health, a science that I believe is disrupting the health and wellness industry today, especially when it comes to mental health. Who out there hasn't experienced stress, anxiety, depression, or even has had suicidal thoughts? I'm sure many of you can relate. And it's no exaggeration to describe stress, depression, anxiety, and burnout as epidemics, literally the black plague of our modern times. And this interview series is very near and dear to my own heart, sharing stories of others opening up in conversations from all facets of wellness to help people understand it's okay to talk about mental, physical, and emotional health. And this is where we share our experiences and become informed of alternative solutions or options that are out there that are actually safe and work. What we do is we provide real solutions for real people who are serious about getting their physical and mental and emotional health from barely surviving to thriving again. And this is what we love to do. You know, there is no physical health without mental wellness, and they are really two sides of the same coin, and they are vital for each other and for our ability to reach our peak potential in this one life that we get to live. So how we feel is not just in our head, it's also in our gut. So, and this is what we do best. So before I bring Angela on, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And I wanted to talk real quick about Mupo TV. This is an interview series that is syndicated through Mupo TV, Mupo Entertainment. There is a Mupo Entertainment downloadable app on your Android or iPhone. Please download it. And I am not the only person doing interviews and bringing enlightenment and encouragement and knowledge and value to people who are out there looking for it. We've got a great cast of interviewees and interviewers, I should say, with interviewees as well. But this can also be seen on Fire TV, Vimeo, Roku, and there is a possibility this syndication is going to go to Netflix. So we will be right back with none other than Angela Sanzali. We are back, and this is Angela Sanzali. I'm going to bring us up here even closer here. So Angela is joining us from the northeast state of Massachusetts, and she was actually born in East Falmouth, which is on the beautiful island of Cape Cod. She's an entrepreneur, consultant, speaker, trainer, author, and Jill of all trades. And she's newly married October of 2022 to her wife, Julie John, who used to be my neighbor when I lived in North Smithfield, Rhode Island. What a small world. She was the general manager of a $6+ million landscaping and snow business. Today, she is the president and CEO of Beat Mentors Consulting and Wellness Group, and she is also the author of Training and Leadership Planner, which is for the green industry, snow and landscaping professionals, a weekly tool for year-round goal setting and she is one happy, energetic, rested lady. So, welcome, Angela, to season 4 of Holistic Mental Fitness.
Thank you, Jeff. I am so excited to be here and honored to be a guest to talk about our challenges and our
Yeah.
wins in the mental fitness world. So thanks for having me.
Absolutely, no. It's an honor, and it's always great to see you and talk with you. So, before we get into the questions, share a little bit about who Angela is outside of your business ventures, because I know you are all over the place and definitely an outdoors girl.
Well, the Jill of all trades kind of encompasses a lot of that. As you know, I'm recently married, and I'm a lover of dogs. I share custody of my nephew with my sister. I love to spend time outdoors. I like to hike, kayak. I'm an avid golfer, tennis player. I love to cook. So pretty much all weather, I can find something fun to do, and I resonated quite well with the dancing fuzzy character in the commercial as we got started, as he was kind of dancing and grooving, because I like to do that too.
Awesome. Well, that's great. That's wonderful. So, let's jump in. You were in the landscaping and snow removal business for many, many years. Share with us what that was like and how mental health is tied into that industry, because the more people I talk into who are in other industries, mental health really comes in somewhat big. So, share with that.
Mental health and mental well-being is a ginormous industry, and it's not new because of the recent pandemic or any of those things. This is an ongoing issue that has been in the workplace for many, many years.
Right.
We talk about wanting better health for ourselves. We talk about I want more free time. I want to spend time outdoors. I need to do things that make me feel happy. But we have been unable to talk about those things in the workplace. And in the workplace is the place we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
Um, for the past 25 years, I've been in the snow and ice industry. And so we call it the green white industry. Snow, it's the green industry, really covers it all.
Right.
It's one of the most stressful industries out there. When you look at the green side of it, you work every day outside in the weather, in the hot, in the cold. You are on the go constantly. You work. Right now, we're in May, so this is traditionally called the 100 days of hell. Now, when you work in a business that has a time period that
Yeah.
is labeled like that, that alone says volumes about the amount of stress and anxiety and pressure that these individuals are under.
Right.
You add snow removal to that, you are now a first responder without the effect of a first responder, because you are the one out there clearing the roads, making sure that fire, safety, police can get through. You're the one out there when they tell you to stay home because it's unsafe. You are out there. So again, high stress, volatile, weather is uncontrollable, long crazy hours. I know that I have a bias to it, but I cannot think of another industry that covers this kind of stress and anxiety, except for first responders, where people
Sure.
have others' lives in their hands. Um,
And
and also,
you're putting your lives at risk too, especially in the snow when it's snowing and trying to clear the roads. And if you're in a snowstorm, that could be treacherous.
I have been in the worst situations I have been in my life have all been revolved around some type of snow event.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can say hands down, they have all been in that sort of situation, and pushed me physically and mentally to my brink. And I, at the time, had no understanding of wellness and no understanding of this anxiety and the pressure and what the cortisol was doing to us, none of that. And we didn't talk about it.
Right. Yeah.
We talked about, I worked 40 hours straight and didn't sleep. It was like a badge of honor versus how am I taking care of myself and my family and all these things, and how am I preparing and how am I recovering? And
Or just take this pill and you'll be fine.
yeah, exactly. And I don't really think there is one for what we do.
No,
So,
there isn't.
but that's a little bit about sort of the full on experience, and I really got to the point, Jeff, where my body couldn't do it anymore. My brain couldn't do it anymore. The minute I'd see a snowflake, my heart would start to race, and
Sure.
there's no
Yeah.
enjoyment
Yeah. Yeah.
in any of that.
Yeah, I think I
um,
I think any industry that, I came from a software engineering background, and that was my career, and that had its own stressors, and you know I was inside pounding away at computers, but there were deadlines, and get it done, get it done, get it done, working 60, 70, 80, 90 hours a week, and which caused havoc for many, many people. So um, yeah, totally relate to that, and I'm sure most people out there can.
I was going to say, let's face it, Jeff. There is, if you are working in the world today, whether you are, working in a small family business, if
Yeah.
you are working in a giant multi-million dollar business, if you're a solopreneur, it does not matter. You are faced with stress. You
Right.
are faced with a lot of things that affect our well-being, no matter who you
Absolutely.
are.
Yep. I totally agree. I totally agree. So in January, you were a guest speaker at a wellness summit, and you stated in your presentation there are only a few times in our lives when we can pinpoint an event exactly that we can say that moment changed my life. And this occurred for you on January 26th of 2019. Will you share that with us?
Thank you, Jeff. Um, Actually, thanks to you, I was you invited us, and I was introduced to the first ever mental wellness company, and I had never been exposed to a company that was putting mental wellness in the forefront. And for me, putting a name on the way I had been feeling,
Yeah.
and more importantly, giving me options of how to feel better and do it without a prescription, to do it and learn how to do it holistically
Right.
using a plant-based supplementation protocol, understanding how important gut health is to how we feel in our brains, that
Mhm.
how I was feeling was sadly normal, but didn't need to be normal anymore. Um,
Exactly.
and in that moment, that exposure and the gift that you actually gave to me to invite me and share it with me, I realized in that moment, that day, that I had nothing to lose and everything to gain. And I need to tell our audience, I am the world's biggest skeptic. If you tell me that, oh, this is, I need to see it for myself and I need to understand how did we
Right.
get there and all the things behind it. And this was the first time, and I'm a true faithful person. So I believe in the things you can't see. However, um, this particular opportunity blew my mind, and I got started that day, and that day literally has changed my life.
Awesome. Well, it's been a blessing to not only be friends but colleagues in this journey that we are on of, just guiding people to, as I said earlier on, alternative options that are safe and work, because people are just sick and tired of being sick and tired of not getting better. And the more that we see today out there in the news about, the medical industry, people are starting to wake up, and you know um, medicine has its place,
Oh,
It
absolutely.
has its time and place. I don't take away from that, but it's not the end all be all, and it will never heal because our bodies are not meant to heal via chemicals. So, uh,
Well, and they're not designed. So they're not designed to heal either. They're designed to treat a specific symptom, which makes
correct.
sense. That's how it works.
That's right.
But our ancient ancestors didn't have that. Our
Right.
ancient ancestors figured out the the plants and the gifts around them and how to solve problems using them.
Right.
And that hasn't changed. We've just gone
Exactly.
away from it. Our Western society has strayed farther and farther away from it. But in reality, we didn't invent anything particularly new. This has been happening for thousands of years. We are just now sort of opening our eyes and relearning the things our ancestors knew,
Exactly.
of ways that we can enhance ourselves and solve problems and feel better using a holistic approach to
Right.
it. And holistic means looking at everything. It doesn't just mean if I, take this one thing or do this one thing. It's an approach that encompasses so many different things, and it approaches, you know, the food that we eat, the amount of
Hmm.
exercise and types of movement that we do, how much rest that we get. Like
Right.
there really is not in this world one thing that solves anything.
Exactly.
It really is a comprehensive approach, and when you peel the layers back, the comprehensive approach, which may seem like from the surface work, is actually more in tune with who we are and what we're doing as human beings than anything else. And so once you start peeling those layers and you start getting knowledgeable and you start actually taking action on it, you realize that, hey, this fits into my life seamlessly because it was meant to be there.
Exactly. And it's about getting to the root of the problem,
Hmm.
which Western medicine doesn't do. You said it's a band-aid. It covers up. It addresses the symptoms. It doesn't get to the root cause of what is really causing the entire illness, whatever. So great nuggets there. So January 26th was a turning point for you, and you talked about your mental health in regards to the industry, and as a consultant in a very difficult and stress related business. What is mental wellness? You talked about what it is to you, but how have you applied what you've learned since January of 2019 into your current career with B Mentors?
That's an excellent question. Thanks, Jeff. I decided I was getting ready to try new things. I love the landscape industry. I love everything about it. There's things I don't love, and so what I decided to do was to take the things I love about everything I had been doing, and transform that into the next phase of my life, and that is my consulting business. And so what I've done is provided opportunities so I have a couple different avenues. So I've provided opportunities of training opportunities of
Hmm.
how to take better care of your employees, how to bring wellness into the workplace, how to make it something that we talk about,
Yeah.
but also for employers to really have a better
Mm.
understanding of the effects of the type of work that they do, to create better communication channels so that employees can feel more comfortable um, when needing time off, whether it be for family or rest or whatever that might be. These are all things that are related to wellness. And through the process, I got certified as a mental wellness coach. And I have been working both individually and in small groups and businesses, helping to bring awareness to what well-being is, what
Right.
mental wellness can be, and how to get better sleep, how to get movement into your day. I love plants. Plants are my favorite thing. So as I get deeper into this new venture for myself, I'm going to be doing more with how plants make us feel better. How just there's actually a study out that said that just by adding plants into the workplace, so
Mm.
I think landscaping has plants. Well, we do, but bringing house plants into your office or having beautiful plants just outside your office in these workspaces, no matter where you work,
Right.
can literally increase um, the workplace productivity by up to 15%,
Oh, wow.
just
That's
by adding a plant. Because we have such great feelings towards plants and how they have. I'm not going to get into it because we'll end up in a whole nother way. But there's so many different ways to increase our well-being.
Yes, and I agree with that because we're turning our lanai into our own vegetable arena. So we've got planters out there, and we're growing radishes and lettuce and tomatoes and all kinds of things to start growing and eating our own food, which is
And
part
Jeff,
of our
how
journey.
does that make you feel when you are are actually planting the plants and nurturing them? Like, how do you feel when you're participating in that
I
activity?
I am a stress free. It's a form of therapy, if you will. I never thought that I would enjoy it, but I said, you know what? We're in an era where we need to make some change. And so we decided to start growing our own food and taking these little seeds and putting them in the pods and watching them sprout up and then taking them out and transplanting them into a bigger pot so they've got room to grow. And now, we've got tomatoes and hot peppers growing, and can't wait for the radishes to come out, in our own cauliflower, so forth and so on. So it's
I
pretty
can hear
cool.
the joy in your voice,
Yeah.
and that's where we can bring this joy even to a bleak office setting.
Yes.
You've brought it to your home, which I obviously encourage everyone to do that. But
Yes.
there are employers are finally seeing that productivity increases, uh,
Mm.
absenteeism decreases by including well-being programs, and
Right.
it doesn't have to. It can take on a life of its own. It doesn't have to be any one specific thing, but if you're not sure where to start, add some plants into your office or add some beautiful
Yeah.
color outside the windows. But this is where I have decided that I can take the things I love and then share that with other people, because we need to talk about it more. And a few of my clients I have a contractor that he's a retired police officer, former military. He runs
Hmm.
a contracting company. So he's a guy, he's what I call a guy's guy. And it took him a little time to get started on some of my supplementation and some of my programs, but I started to help him eat better, worked on some techniques for him to get some better sleep, because I can't take away the stress of his job and
Sure.
all the things that go with it. But what I can do is give him some tools to deal with that. And then I also encouraged him to try one of my very favorite supplementation packs, which we call the Happy Juice, because it's a combination of a couple ingredients that's all plant based, and it can be sugar and caffeine free depending on the combination you choose. But it
Mhm.
literally helps to continue to heal your gut and also to produce dopamine, serotonin. I mean, I actually have some right here. It's simple to drink. He drinks it during the day. And he has literally said to me that he feels like, exactly, he feels like it's not only helping him, but it's helping his employees. Do you know
Awesome.
You know how it's helping his employees?
How?
Not because they're taking it, it's because his reaction time of,
Yeah.
that flashpoint, the way he processes, he gets more time before that flash comes. He has more time to think about what he's saying. He's not so tense in a way that he reacts to them negatively. I mean, this is someone that you would not expect in any way, that one wouldn't need it and two
Mm,
would never try it. And
wow.
he raves about it. He's been doing it for almost a year now.
That's
And
awesome.
it's changed the way he does business.
That's awesome. And I was going to ask you, about some testimonials. So you brought up the happy juice, and we talk about mental health. And my whole thing here is mental fitness is the new physical health. And you talk about the happy juice, but I want to take a quick commercial break here with the Happy Mind Pack. So we've got the Happy Juice Pack and then the Happy Mind Pack. And I associate the Happy Mind Pack is the Happy Juice Pack on steroids because it gives you that extra boost there. But so the Happy Mind Pack basically it's combining cutting edge nootropics with potent adaptogens that
Mm.
take your and elevate your motivation, your focus, your mental energy, and overall state of mind to the next level. And this is a product pack that is four products in this pack, which basically supports motivation, brain health, neuron regeneration, focus and memory, and then mental energy and endurance. And it basically promotes a healthy, positive mood. And I say that this is definitely a total winner that replaces Lexapro, Paxil, Zoloft. Wouldn't you agree?
I completely agree.
So we'll be right back after this short commercial break. Okay, we are back and we are getting down to that third. Well, it's 29.58 seconds. So I do have two more questions for you, Angela, before we wrap it up today.
Sure.
Um, you've got so much going on, and especially with a number of great projects. And I want you to share what this amazing project in Maine is going to be for you.
Oh, I would love to share that. So part of my growth, and as I'm, you keep opening yourself up to the things that best align with you. I am working on a project with my BFF and her husband. It's called the Limina Renewal Center. It's in Mid Coast, Maine, right on the Penobscot Bay, and it is a space dedicated to supporting you during life's changes. The word
Awesome.
limina is a place of the liminal places that we find ourselves, and you can find yourself there because of a job, you can find yourself there because of grief, empty nest, uh, health issues, you name it. And this particular place is on 15 acres, and we have developed it into a place of like a retreat center where you can come
Sweet.
and spend a weekend or a few days in quiet and solitude. You can experience the ocean. We have walking trails. We have forest bathing. And we also have a dedicated wellness center, which has Reiki rooms, massage rooms, yoga space, meditation space, arts and crafts, workout. You could just sort of come and relax. We provide 3 meals a day. And I am just so excited to be a part of this. I will be, as we get started, I will be providing the meals. I will be doing wellness coaching as well as supporting the guests during their time there. And I'm
Awesome.
currently working on getting my horticulture therapy certification and forest bathing, where I can do plant therapy and lead guided walks. And this will be sort of the next phase of how I incorporate where I was and where I'm going.
That's incredible. And I was going to ask you, is this going to be near the ocean? So you just said ocean views and stuff like that, but now you piqued my interest in forest bathing. What is that?
So I didn't. So yet again, didn't have a name for something that I am a person that when if I'm going to go for a walk, I prefer to walk in the woods. I prefer to be around trees. I tend to walk up to a tree and place my hands on it, etc. That's a grounding technique
Mhm.
because most of us see the tree above the ground,
Right.
but obviously trees have massive roots and it's
Yeah.
all connected. And in a forest, the trees are all connected, the plants are all connected, and they live and support and communicate with each other. And forest bathing is the opportunity to experience the forest in a way that you can turn off your thinking brain and open your sensing self.
Mm,
It's a form of meditation,
sure.
it's a form of healing. And in Japan, which is where the term forest bathing originated from, is that it is actually a prescribed activity by
Oh,
physicians.
oh
They
wow.
prescribe forest bathing to relieve tension, stress, depression. Um, when you spend time in the woods, trees release phytosides, which are natural um, uh, CK killers in our body. And so when we spend time in the forest and we breathe them in, it literally raises the level of these cells in our body that help to fight off disease, cancer, things like that. That they help to attack all the things in our bodies that we don't want. And you get that naturally from spending time in forests. Um,
Wow.
it's a
That
site.
sounds amazing. That sounds amazing. I'll have to look at that and maybe plan a trip from Florida up to Maine and do some forest bathing while I'm
Well, we would love to
looking
have
at
you
the
both.
ocean. Super. Super. So last question for you. If there were one piece of advice that you could give anybody that's watching who is looking for that glimmer of hope from a personal or a professional perspective, what would that be?
Be courageous and take the first step. It doesn't matter what that step is, but ex- making no changes, you'll get no different result. Nothing will change in your life. We can wish and hope till the pigs fly and the cows come home, but it's not going to change. We
Right.
are in control of our destiny, and we have to make changes to bring that to
Yes.
fruition. And the
Yes.
change doesn't have to be enormous. You don't have to change everything in your life. You just have to take the first step, and you have to go all in on that step. Because once you do take that step and you cross that threshold, the next step comes and it's easier. And then the next one after that. But friends,
Right.
nothing is going to change if you don't make changes. And they
Exactly.
will, the reward at the end, my friends, some of us, myself included, can't even envision what those would be like. But one thing I can guarantee for you is that nothing new will happen if you don't. And I encourage you to take that step.
Perfect. I couldn't have said it any better, and I totally agree with you. It's taking that step, and sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone to do that. So, Angela, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to be my special guest today. You brought so much value, and you are going to be changing the world in so many amazing aspects, sharing holistic health and wellness with your colleagues and your new business opportunity of coaching up in Maine. And this leads into I believe we all should be living in abundance and optimum wellness physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially today. And lastly, mental fitness is the new physical health. And I'll see you on the inside next week. Have a good one. Bye bye.